Yeah, let me have this yarn with you, all right? I'm going to get into the difference in prison, the difference between being in a gang or being in a race-related war, gang-related war, race-related beef, gang-related beef, all right? Two very different things with very different consequences. Let me explain this. When you're part of a gang, whether that's a prison gang or outlaw motorcycle gang, like a recognized outlaw motorcycle gang, it is the easiest, listen carefully, the easiest, safest fucking thing you can do. In case you thought that it was like the United States where my gang's here and your gang's there and your gang's there, and if you walk in the wrong toilet, you get stabbed. No, bro. I'll tell you how New South Wales prison system works, and probably the entire Australia. From the minute you leave the police station, when you get arrested and you get to a reception centre, which in New South Wales is MRRC, the first thing they do is they ask you, are you part of any prison gang? Are you part of any outlaw motorcycle gang? And 99.9% of these gangsters tell the screws, I'm part of this, I am part of that gang. Half the time they know already, but they still ask you. Don't forget, they got it tattooed all over them. They talk about it on the phones. They've been watched in police investigations. They write it to each other in letters. Everyone knows what gang everyone's in. Small percent, the screws don't know. And like soldiers, they don't say nothing. They're the true soldiers. I'll get into that. All right. So what that means is when you get to reception and the screws know you're part of a gang, listen to this, you're going to spin out. From that minute on, you're a protected species, all right? To the extent that there is different prisons in New South Wales for different gangs, in case you didn't know that. So me and my mates, say we're in the Yahoos, we all get sent to a certain jail. And all our enemies, the Buru Munchers, all get sent to another jail on the other side of New South Wales. Even if we're in Sydney, in transit centres, in remand centres, in high-frequency prisons where there can't be separate prisons for separate gangs, what they do is they make different wings for different gangs. So we would literally be in this wing behind bars and glass, and we see our enemies and we're just like, yeah, fuck you. But you just do not mix. So far as to, I'm telling you the truth here, in case you thought that it was like America. So far as to, even if I was to go to the clinic or to reception, or say I'm going to visit or AVL video link, the screws make sure that none of the Buru Munchers are on the walkway while the Yahoos are walking on the walkway. You're literally a protected species from all your enemies. And all you do is spend your whole sentence with your friends of your gang, looking tough and standing over the non-gang members. That's how it happens. That's what being part of a prison gang is. It's so bad like this, all right? So this is a true story. I remember in MRRC, when I was in MRRC, when I was young, and there's one of the mad brothers that was there, Vernon Chili. And we're in MRRC, and the other window, like a few windows down, there was a cool gangster cunt from the Buru Munchers Association, all right? And fucking, he got sentenced. And he come back to his cell, he got a classo to a jail. He come back to his cell, and he goes in the cell, and they tried to send him to Cessnock. And he couldn't go to Cessnock. Well, he could, if he had some nuts, but the other gang members were in Cessnock, and he was part of the cool cunts that was supposed to go to Wello. But he come out and he's yelling out to his other cool cunt mate, and he's going, hey, cool cunt, what about these stupid screws? You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to fucking send me to fucking Cessnock. I told them, you can't send me to Cessnock, it's going to be World War III, this and that. And it's like, think about what that is. That's actually like being in the fucking boneyard. If you say that to a screw, if a screw tries to send you there and your enemies are there, as a normal person, as me, all right, imagine they tried to send me to Kempsey, and when I got to fucking, and when they tried to send me to Kempsey, I said to the screws, you can't send me to Kempsey, people in Kempsey don't like me. Mate, that in my book, that's a boneyarder, all right, that's putting non-associations, that's doing boneyard moves, you know what I mean? But they doing the same thing, and they thought that there was nothing of it, you know what I mean? But that one brother, Vernon Chili, so what he done is, he took note of it. He yelled out to these cunts, and these cunts, they're not used to, like, mateys, like, calling them out, you know what I mean? So he put the yarn on him, he goes, lad, you're a fucking dog. And matey goes, what do you mean I'm a fucking dog? He goes, lad, you're a fucking dog. The screws try to send you there, and you're telling them there's going to be World War III, this and that. That's like being in a boneyard. Matey's huffing and puffing, I'm not a boneyard, I'm not a... But anyway, they go out in the morning, and Chillsy's a fucking, like, psycho. Mate there too, mad fighter. It ain't give two fucks. Matey come out, matey's like, yeah, and like, back down from him. But fucking, the whole point is, these are normal happenings in jail. This is what it's like being part of a gang. in jail. Let me get into racial stuff now. Very different, very dangerous. No protection there, all right? Being part of racial stuff there is no races for separate jails. The screws don't give a fuck. They will put you in whatever wing. If you're a brother, one alone, they'll put you with 15 Asians. If you're an Asian that just stabbed some fucking Lebo, they'll put you with 20 Lebos. If you're an Asian and it's a war, an islander and it's a war, they'll send you to Lithgow with 30 Kuris. They don't care. It doesn't matter. But you know how many times I've seen, in fact, you know this place, here's another misconception. This is how back to front everyone seems to have what the real dangers are in prison. Do you know that jail Goulburn, all right? Everyone goes on like, Goulburn's dangerous. Goulburn's dangerous? No, cunt. In 1996, Goulburn was dangerous. Goulburn is the only jail that has separated the races into different yards, like how the whole prison system has separated gangs into different yards. So you know how many times I've seen cunts who are part of gang wars, all right, praying that they don't get sent to a dangerous jail like Lithgow or Kempsey or Wello, where they get off the truck and they get stabbed up. They're praying they get sent to Goulburn. You know why? Because what happens when you're in Goulburn? You get off the truck and you go straight into the yard with your nasho, and you never mix with another nasho. You just yell at each other through the fences. Goulburn is not dangerous. Lithgow is dangerous. Kempsey is dangerous. Wello is dangerous. Bathurst is dangerous. Being in a gang isn't dangerous. It's the funnest thing you can do. Imagine being in a fucking gang and the whole time you're just on the trucks. When you get sentenced, you know it's just your boys. You go into a wing, you go into a cell, it's always your boys. You don't ever got to worry about walking into a wing and there's a cunt you hate and you got to punch on. That never happens. In fact, the only times they even have beef is when it's in-house. Half the time, 90% of the time when they're beefing, it's like in-house stuff. It's like the matey from the Yahoos doesn't like the matey from the other Yahoos, and so they fight. It's never, you get my point. How back the front we all think it is, that's the fucking truth. A lot of people don't like to say that. I say it, I don't care. I wonder how many Yahoos are going to hate me now for saying it, but you all know it's the truth. No, I'm not meeting you in the park. No, we're not having a fucking boxing match. You're cooler than me, you're tougher than me. That's the fucking truth. Laters.